because I don't have it on. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome back to the pregame show on J105 with Grant Clafton, head coach Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. A win on the road against Proctor.
Yeah, I mean it is. I mean that's put into play. This ain't a state tournament champ.
Welcome back to the pregame show on J105.
On in the first game, we faced a good
help out your travel a little bit.
Well, I'm actually not always looking for scoring. We have a.
All right. So there's a line chart. He's starting top, and then.
Is it correct?
What?
Incorrect. This is the starters.
Starters on the top, and then second line on the bottom.
Ryder's starting tonight, huh?
Yeah.
Roseau starters? I forgot to ask him that.
I did. 35 in net, 3 and 12 on D, 7, 21, 25.
7 top line?
Yep. I'm surprised he's starting Ryder.
He always starts the seniors.
So Ryder played against Proctor.
I saw he played against Proctor.
And Grant said he did all right, and this may be the last time I can get him in for a while.
Is Roseau as typical as Roseau usually is?
I haven't seen him play yet.
They've only had one game so far. We'll see what they do against Rockridge tonight.
Yeah, they play Rockridge tonight.
Yeah. Here's a sponsor list. Jason.
Yep.
Yeah, second one is just live reads. You don't have to worry about that. I mean, if you end up mentioning that, you can, because I often forget. All right. Sounds good. I'm a little behind, but I'm catching up quickly, David.
Get to eating.
That's it. Usually I have time to grab a sub or something and just sit for a 7 o'clock game. I just not have all time.
I had the pork sandwich here. It was pretty darn good for $5.
I did have that a few. Have you seen this year's edition yet?
Of Rapids? I watched the YouTube game. I watched the East game.
Okay.
Look all right. East looks terrible.
Moorhead's good.
I watched that one too. I watched that one on that Spuds TV. And they looked absolutely awful for 2 periods. So they have only 5 shots on goal or something through 2.
Something like that.
Oh.
They had no right being in that game.
Well, then battle all the way back, tie it up, and then bleh.
Yeah, they choke it away. Right now, and you'll notice it when you get to see the whole ice. It is the most selfish team I've ever seen.
Really?
They do not share the puck.
Wow.
None of the seniors do. Andrew and Luke do.
That surprises me a little bit.
But Yarsky and Jamel have been terrible. Got that. And Carlson too. So.
Oh. I don't know if we're going to cover it.
But if there's one thing I know about a Grand Kaufman Coach team, it won't look like that in the end of January.
No. No, it will not.
Either these guys will figure it out or someone else will be good playing. He really doesn't give a crap about what your last name is or what you did last year.
Nope.
I lost this week, but I had the starters to
We've got them. We've got it, the starters. That black one out.
That's where I did it.
The top line is starting, and then the second pairing a D, and then Ryder.
Yeah, I'm flying down there.
You're gonna fly?
64 bucks on the way back,
Right.
139 on the way down. It's like,
It's cheaper than gas.
yeah.
And it sucks driving 6 hours.
Sherry wants to. Well, she talked about going to the. This was a week ago, and she was about 22. Was all excited about going to the Packer game.
Oh,
I said,
yeah.
okay, well, I said, oh, you want to do that?
Hey, Super Joe. JV game has 1:15 left. So what do we got here? Let's go 5:35. Fred's Live Bait and Tackle. Winnie Trading Post. You want to... No. Yeah, put that on. You want to add Fred's Live Bait and Tackle and Winnie Trading Post. All one line to our sponsor list.
I can't hear
Yeah, I can't hear you. Maybe if I turn you up.
How's that?
That's better.
Better?
Getting closer.
Okay, so it was Fred's bait and tackle.
Fred's live bait and tackle,
Live.
Winnie Trading Post.
Fred's live bait and tackle. What was the end of it? Winnie Trading Post. Okay. What time do we go?
5:35.
5:35. It's 5:29. I can go run to the can quick.
You know why we're going at 5:35, Joe? I'm still eating supper. I packed a lunch, and I'm snarfing it down. I do not like these 6 o'clock games coming off of a bus route. Get ready for the Grant Clapton interview. You'd think we were 0-4. Oh, that noise was Jason's phone. He's got his headset sitting right on it, so. Yeah, but they're 3-1. They just came off a 6-2 win. Like, what do you still have to? What's your takeaway from the last game? No, we didn't cycle the puck. We didn't share the puck. We didn't play defense. We didn't transition. We didn't. It's like, okay, you won by 4. Yeah, I didn't think they played that badly, but, you know, I ain't the coach. Okay, say something, Jason. Make sure I got your level right.
All right, how we doing?
That sounds pretty close anyways.
Okay.
30.
Yep.
Good evening. Welcome to Yanmar Reno as we get set for boys hockey action again this evening as the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks back home after 2 road games, and they're taking on the Roseau Rams. And both teams coming in 3-1. Sheldon Willis along with me, Jason Merritt. Jason, we haven't done a game together yet this year.
It's been a while. Thanks for having me back. Always one of my favorite games of the season when Grand Rapids takes on the Roseau Rams. And you and I, over the last 4 seasons, have seen some really hotly contested games, several overtimes in there, both for each team at home, on the road. Just last year, I remember it was another comeback win, late goals. And
it didn't go overtime, but it was a
late
comeback win. Yep.
And, that one went to Roseau, I believe.
Yes, it
I
did.
remember correctly. And the year before, over here, it was Luka Roloff with a game winner, scoring a late goal to tie it as well. And the Thunderhawks won that one in overtime. It seems like every other year for each team. So it's usually been the home team coming out on top.
And for Roseau, probably coming in a little with at least statewide lower expectations statewide than what they've had previous years, but I don't think the expectations are lower in Roseau.
No, absolutely not. They did lose some heavy hitters. Noah Ernest, he had 75 points, I believe, last season. Been the go-to man for them for 3 seasons as a sophomore through senior year, and he's a St. Cloud State commit. They've had a lot of guys come through that program. This year, one guy I want to tell you to look forward to is number 7, and that's Halverson. And Jake is a dynamic player. Reminds me a little bit of another number 7 formerly from Roseau from a long time ago. Not so big in stature, very crafty with the puck, and he likes to move it. And he's got some speed. He's willing to take some hits too.
And for Grand Rapids, they come in 3-1. The overtime loss at Moorhead. And yes, they got outplayed badly through much of that game. But you take one of the top teams in the state to overtime on their home ice, and this is a team to look out for as the season goes along.
Yeah, like you said, Rapids did get outplayed in that game, but they showed a lot of heart, a lot of moxie coming back and tying that thing up late, and then unfortunately gave up that quick overtime winner. But showed a little bit of what they got, what they had in goal, as we've all expected. Carter Casey's phenomenal. We're going to see another one, though, tonight.
We're going to see Ryder Miskovich again tonight, and then we'll see Carter tomorrow versus Warrow. This is the pregame show. We're going to take our first break, and when we come back, Super Joe will take a look at Tuesday's win over Proctor. You're listening to Thunderhawk Hockey on J105 The Thunder and J105radio.com. Yeah, why don't you just go 2.5, 2.5?
Does PA get any better?
No. Yep. Got it. They hung these acoustic tiles up here to try to help, but it didn't much. Like I said, just thankfully that Marv does the live Hockey Hub scoreboard, because then you can.
I think it should be mandatory in every rink that they have that.
Yeah. There's not that many that do.
Uh-uh.
You look down the Hockey Hub sheet, and maybe 3-4 games in a night.
Right. And none on the girls' side.
No, never on the girls. Except here.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I said something to Grant. You can tell that Palachek and Ryla played together quite a bit. Said, I don't think they have.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, well, looks like they have.
Andre came over from Greenway, didn't he?
I mean, it's a Greenway name, so.
Yeah, I think he came over. He played Bantams here was when he transferred.
Okay.
Because he's just a 9th grader, isn't he?
No, they're both 10th.
10th grade? Okay. His dad was the one, he was killed in a car accident a couple of years ago. Young guy.
Yeah, Grant said, I can't help myself. He reminds me of Dante Lawson.
Yeah, he probably does a little bit.
He doesn't rag the puck yet, like Dante did. Dante would have it on a string.
Yeah.
But he has a little bit of that rink sense, it feels like.
Yeah.
Palachek is a young Jonah Bischoff.
Oh, really?
He's a little bit limited, but he's got a shot, and he's fearless, and he's fairly strong, and he skates good enough.
Well, you can do that.
You know, he's not a pretty skater like some others we've seen, but he gets there, and he's just.
That was a bummer about Shermone.
Oh, geez, that's hurt him.
Well,
That's hurt him. They've got. They're trying to find the defensive pairs. He would have settled that down a lot.
oh, yeah.
Guarantee you, if he was around, last 2.5 minutes of every game would have been Shermone and Roloff. And he's not quite as physical as Roloff, and he's still little, Shermone is, but he probably is he has a little more feel for the offensive zone than Luca does.
Oh, yeah. You'd say, well, they used him last year at forward at times, too.
Yeah.
Are they much for physicality, Rapids? I didn't really notice. I know Jameson.
Duell will go, and Garski's okay. And their defensive core is actually fairly physical.
Yeah.
They're certainly not. They've got no headhunters. I haven't seen just undisciplined, I'm going to kill somebody penalty yet.
Right. Huh?
So Gus Drennan He's buried on the third line.
Yep.
He doesn't look that good. He had a regular shift as a freshman. I know it wasn't a great team.
Right.
But still, you're good enough to have a regular shift as a freshman, and you don't improve enough to even be second line by the time you're a senior.
Well, you know what happened? I go back and look at Patrick White. He was a first-round NHL draft pick. He was a top-line guy for the Gophers his freshman year, and then every year he went down the line. By his senior year, he was fourth line, barely ever getting a shift, and he never did set foot in a NHL training camp.
Yeah.
Well, he regret.
Oh, you know what? We are on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Let's be good. We got to be good.
Yeah.
We're being a little.
No, nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about that. I probably wouldn't have said what I did about Brennan.
But yeah, he regressed. You see that happen, and you just wonder why.
But, and Drennan is absolutely, he's one of the captains and the nicest guy you meet on the team.
He's a total team guy.
Yep. We'll get him on a post-game interview soon. Yeah, he's one of the guys who says hi to me before every game.
Yeah.
Him and Nathan. And J-Mo.
Oh, yeah.
Keep an eye out for him. I feel I didn't swear. Okay. Welcome back to the pregame show on J105 with Grant Clafton, head coach Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. A win on the road against Proctor on Tuesday. The score looked good at the end. I guess your takeaways from the game.
Yeah, a win's a win, right? And I guess like section wins matter. I mean, we obviously have to win those games, but I mean, for the most part, I look at how we win or how we lose, and we're not there yet. And we need to get better at moving the puck. We need to get better at using our defensemen. Our defensemen have to get better at transitioning the puck. Our D zone has to vastly get better quickly. And those are the kind of the things you harp on and try to build off of.
And the one thing, I guess, this team has not had a lot of problem putting the puck in the net when they get chances.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, I think that we've left some goals out there based off of effort and going to the net or getting pucks through from the point. But, that is one encouraging thing that we have been able to get some goals, and some of them have come at timely times.
And just watching Andrew and Luke work together, the two sophomores, they share the puck about as well as anyone on the team.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain about our 10th graders right now. I mean, we have two of them. They have 4 games under their belts. They've been doing everything that we've asked them to do. The sad thing is I haven't really had to coach them too much, and that's a good thing. But we need some of our older guys to step up and start pulling their weight.
So you're a little bummed that you haven't gotten to yell at them too much?
Oh, I got to yell at them. Wednesday was a tough day. Let's just say that.
So coming in 2 games in 2 days here, Warroad and Roseau. Roseau tonight, Warroad tomorrow. it's every year we do it about this time. Is it a good early season measuring stick?
Yeah, I mean, it is. I mean, that's a fortunate thing that we have for us is that we get a schedule with top end opponents. And I remember playing Roseau last year up in Roseau, and at the time I wasn't very happy about it. But that particular loss was a huge opportunity for us to grow. We were able to look at the breakdown that caused the loss, and never happened again. And I mean, that's part of it. I mean, we look at these games as 25 scrimmages to get ready for when it matters, and we need to start making sure that we're learning from our mistakes. And I feel like we kind of got stung against a Moorhead, and I mean, granted, they outplayed us, and Carter was sensational in that game and kept us in it, but we had an opportunity to win that game because of how well Carter played, because we were able to score goals. And at the end of the game, what happens? You lose a face-off, you lose a game. You lose your man, you lose a game. And, those are the things that we're looking to correct.
Caleb after the game said the face-off is a matter of just getting the compete level up. Is that one of the things you see?
Yeah, and it definitely is. The compete level up, and not just in the center, but in the wings helping out. And, I mean, when you're just depending on the center to win a draw clean, you're not going to win many face-offs. Right, so our wingers have to get in, collapse down on it, help out, get a little bit more tenacious when we do lose a draw and get on guys. But yeah, I mean, Caleb's right. It's a competitive thing, and it's a bend in your knees thing, and there's obviously some skill to it. And back to the Moorhead game, when you have a guy who made a living for 20 years in the NHL winning faceoffs, you'd expect Moorhead to be pretty good at them.
and they were. What do you expect against Roseau tonight? And what's the heads up on how the lines are configured tonight?
I don't really know much about Roseau. I mean, I followed their scores. It looks like they have the same record that we do. Right now, I'm not really worried about other teams. I'm more worried about our team, and if we're going to learn from our mistakes and put into play some of the things that we've been working on in practice or harping on or getting on the guys for. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a good transition out of our defensemen tonight, and I'm looking for our forwards to play smart, move the puck to each other, which has just been so poor. And, just chipping it to soft areas, going to get it, using the points. I love going low to high. I mean, you've known that. I mean, you've followed, my teams for a while now, and I'm a low to high guy, and I think we've done a really poor job of doing that. And when we do get it up, our D have to get the puck through. So they're a great bunch of kids, and we're early in the season, so I'm really optimistic, but I hate to sound the way I am, but I'm a realist, and this ain't a state tournament championship level of play yet.
Well, there's time to get that to happen by mid-February.
Correct.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
All right, thanks.
And that is head coach of the Thunderhawks, Grant Clafton. As we get closer to game time, I'm going to let you digest that. We're going to keep moving along, get to our next interview, but I'm sure during the game we'll have some comments on that interview. Right, Jason?
I would agree with that 100%. I like what he said, and we'll talk a little bit about some of that during the game.
We'll take another break. Be back with Adam Nakenmoos, assistant head coach and acting head coach for the Roseau Rams this weekend on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com. Just give me two. Like I said, it sounded Grant's comments, and we're on YouTube here, but he's looking for a lot more from this team.
I think so. He's definitely not pleased.
No.
So they're fortunate to have that 3-1 record in his eyes.
Yeah.
I thought they outplayed Duluth East handily.
They did.
I thought they competed very hard against Forest Lake. That was a tough season opener there as well. But, looking at the Proctor game, that's a game they should win by that margin, if not more.
And they probably, by talent, should beat Forest Lake by more than a 3-2 overtime game.
Correct.
And needing a shorthanded in the late third to even it up.
Right. And it does show.
That was still a gutty, gritty
that's what I mean.
Comeback, and they did that against Moorhead, too. This team has a little bulldog in them, and that will serve them well.
And that was one of the key things last year, and I think it all started with that East game when they were down a bunch.
3-0.
Yep. And a 5-goal third period.
Yep.
So, things like that. You can build on that. And I do like what he said too. These are teachable moments.
Yep.
And they're coachable moments, which as any head coach are going to enjoy that.
Welcome back to the pregame show on J105 with Adam Nakamuz, who is not the head coach of the Roseau Rams, but the acting head coach tonight and this weekend.
Yeah, unfortunately for our head coach, Greg Lund, he had a relative pass away, so he's staying back for the weekend. So a lot of us assistant coaches are stepping up in that role for him. So,
and it has to change a little bit of the dynamic, both on the bench and with the players and everything.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, when you're missing the head guy, it does change the dynamics. There's always a presence, no matter who anybody is, and he is the head coach. And with him not here, it does change things. So, but we'll try to keep the boys focused and ready for tonight.
Well, and I'm sure the game plan doesn't change, and all the coaches are on the same page anyways. Talk a little bit about this year's Roseau Rams team. I see a 3-1 record.
Yeah, we've had a pretty decent start to the year. We don't have a lot of guys who have a lot of varsity experience, but we had some growing pains early on in the first game. We faced a good Holy Angels team, but we've seemed to grow the last 3 games. We got 3 wins last week, which is big for us. Guys are starting to buy into our system a little bit, starting to click and have a little chemistry with each other, and it's hopefully we're trending in the right direction even early on here.
Well, and probably not having a lot of returners, pollsters, whatever they're worth, didn't pay a lot of attention to Roseau early on.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's kind of the message we sent day one of practice is, everybody's going to be overlooking us. They're going to kind of maybe write us off. We got to be the team that's going to be willing to come in, work hard, and shock everybody else. And we kind of are adopting that attitude right now, and it's nice to see.
And this is a pretty big weekend. This isn't a section game, but it's always a pretty big rivalry. And then Elk River on back-to-back nights.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. I think this is kind of a rivalry. I played 4 years of high school. We played Grand Rapids every year. Played them once in the state tournament in 2007, and it's always been a rivalry. Had a lot of buddies from the Grand Rapids area. I actually played college hockey with Patrick Moore. So I played a lot of years with him. It was great, and it's always a good battle when we play each other. So.
And I know a number of years ago, it would be a weekend where you'd be here and maybe at Hibbing or Virginia. It's a long drive for tomorrow's game.
Yeah, absolutely. We come here and we turn around and make a quick swing and go stay in a hotel in Brainerd, and then get up the next morning and go and play Elk River, and then it's a 6-hour bus ride home for us.
Is that the reason that we moved the game to 6 o'clock? It kind of help out your travel a little bit?
Well, I'm actually not 100% positive. Maybe not. 6 o'clock does help. We can get to the hotel a little bit earlier and stuff like that. But I guess we're not going to really focus on the time that it starts, and hopefully that we're going to be ready to go when the puck does drop.
And you mentioned the growing pains, but the team improving quickly. Who have you seen some big improvements from?
Well, I've seen a lot of improvements from our seniors that don't have a lot of playing time. So if I have to go through some guys like Tucker Queen and Chase Bachleitner, Cade Ginther, those guys haven't played a lot of minutes, and they're really adopting a good role. They're contributing. We have everybody, and the nice thing about our forward lines is everybody's contributing. We're kind of a team that needs to have that kind of identity. We don't really have per se one guy that we're always looking for scoring. We have a mixed bag of scoring, which is nice for us.
Well, it's always good to have Roseau here in Grand Rapids, and good luck tonight, Coach. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And that is acting head coach for this weekend, Adam Nakamuz, with the Roseau Rams. And thank you, him, for taking time. We got Roseau Radio here as well. So
my former partner off to my left when I was in Roseau calling games,
yeah.
The one and only Bob Kent right here.
And and he does a good job getting interviews from both coaches, so certainly. I had to follow him both times.
Yep, and I liked Adam's interview. I've known Adam a long time. He played both against and with my oldest boy, AJ.
Okay.
They were teammates on some select teams, and they always had a nice rivalry playing against each other every other year. During their high school careers, they both graduated the same year. So very cool to see him go back home and get involved in the coaching.
And as he mentioned, a lot of different people on the score sheet for Roseau. They have 10 players with at least a goal.
Right. Like I said earlier, this is a team that lost a lot of points from last season. And their returning scorer, their leading scorer, is that Jake Halverson. But he doesn't have as many guys to work with as he did in prior years. And they leaned heavily on two lines last year. And this year it seems like they're spreading it out a little bit more.
And for Grand Rapids, 8 people have scored so far. And, you know, it's a lot of the people that you expected to step up, you know, players that had a lot of playing time last year, like Nathan Garski, like a Jamison Duell. But there's a lot of people that are gone from last year's team, both on the forward lines and back on defense. You know, names like Jake Garski and Kyler Miller that were really depended on as the glue of this team last year.
Well, and then you add to that the loss of Will Shermone this year as one of their go-to guys, and he had a season-ending injury prior to this season even starting. So they've been without him, and that certainly changes the dynamics.
Yeah, doctor says he's not even going to be able to golf this spring, and he is bummed about that.
Oh, I bet. I would be too.
I mean, he's a state-level golfer as well. He's
Correct.
a great athlete.
Yep.
As both teams back out on the ice, Grand Rapids in the home whites with the orange down the shoulder and the GR in the front, black breezers, and Roseau in the green with white Roseau across the front. Roseau doesn't change their uniforms very often as far as the design.
Nope, it's been one of the most iconic jerseys in the history of high school hockey.
And I actually love their home jerseys, maybe more than their roads, but they are recognizable across the state.
Well, we're getting to our starting
Let's do
lineups. You want me to run down Roseau? I certainly can for you.
Okay, well, first I'll tell you that starting lineups are brought to you by Skoglund Electric. For all your electrical contracting needs, residential, commercial, and industrial, contact Skoglund Electric, a proud supporter of Thunderhawk Athletics. Yeah, go ahead and do the Roseau starters.
All right, for the Roseau Rams, starting in goal will be senior number 35, Abram Hinson. And on defense, it is going to be number 3, A.J. Clint. And he's a senior as well, along with Eli Wensloff, another senior. And the starting lineup at the top, Abram Waggy, he's a sophomore, and Tyler George, another sophomore, and they'll be centered by senior Jake Halverson.
And for the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks, they will start in net Ryder Miskovich, getting his second start, 1-0, a 2.00 goals against average in his one start. On defense will be Alex Salisbury, a junior, number 20, and number 3, Jackson Rabers, also a junior. And up front, and another line shuffle, third game, third line combos, as Ander Ryla, Luke Palachek, Nathan Garski will be the first line, with Luke Palachek centering that. And second line then looks like Seth Carlson centering Miskovich and Duell, with Gunderson, Lampa, and Drennan on the third line, which is a little change as well because Dylan Clayton was on that line in the Proctor game.
Well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that's not going to be the last time we see line shuffles.
No, I would think the next line shuffle will be tomorrow.
Correct.
Everyone will have played with everybody else by the end of December, I'm sure.
And that's certainly a good thing. We'll mention real quick here the Grand Rapids Junior Varsity, victorious here earlier. 5-1 was the final in that one. That was a physical hockey game to watch.
Yeah, it was. And starting lineups brought to you by Skoglund Electric. Personal hometown service, personable and hardworking, and a proud supporter of hardworking Thunderhawk Athletics. We'll take one more break for the national anthem, and when we come back, it's the drop of the puck. Grand Rapids and Roseau up next on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com. Two and a half. Perfect. And we are set for action here from Yanmar Arena. Sheldon Willis along with Jason Merritt, Super Joe back at the station. And now that we've got everything ready to go, we're here for a while, Jason. Some of your thoughts on Grant Clafton's interview and what he has said about the team so far?
Well, what I know of Grant, a longtime friend with Grant, he's a perfectionist, and he demands complete and total effort, and he demands execution. And that's one of the things you can tell he's not very happy about right now is the execution on this team, and that's moving the puck, sharing the puck. He talked about low to high. That's getting the puck from the forwards down low, back up to that blue line, and for the defensemen to get those shots across, and they're going to have more success once they buy into that.
Well, when you can use the entire offensive zone, it creates scoring opportunities. It creates space. You know, it's interesting. You look at hockey or basketball or football. Spacing is it's all about spacing.
Right. Absolutely. I agree 100% with that. And I know that if these kids don't get it pretty quick, the guys that he's leaning on, then somebody else is going to take their spot.
Exactly. And I think also how critical he is speaks to how high his expectations are for this team.
Yeah, I agree with that 100% as well.
We are underway. Puck in the Roseau zone. Keeping it in there is Rabers. Garski tries to center it. That doesn't connect. And out to center ice. Here comes Tyler George. George, long shot. That's blocked by Salisbury. And turning is Ryla. Ryla finds Garski. Return pass is intercepted by Tyler George. Shot back in. Turned aside by Miskovich. And the Thunderhawks now break out to center ice. They're making line changes as Seth Carlson jumps out on the ice. Circling behind the net is Halverson. He'll reverse it to the far side to Clint. Clint loses the puck at the half wall. Thunderhawks, hey, they go to low to high. Get it to Carpenter. His shot deflects just wide. Duell. Back to the point. To Carpenter across to Roloff on the backhand, half wall, stopped there by Miskovich, and the puck taken and shot out and down the ice. Icing doesn't happen as the puck takes a little bit of a weird bounce off the boards and keeps from going over the goal line. Now here come the Thunderhawks through center ice. A little bit of room for Duell. Duell puts on the brakes at the half wall, shovels it behind the net. Carlson going there after it. Carlson looks out front. Duell's shot trickles wide. It was deflected by the defense. Duell takes a player that was Beck Hammer.
And Hammer got hammered.
Yes, he did. Now Gunderson shovels it behind his own net as the Thunderhawks try to break out to center. I think the message low to high was received.
I agree with that. They've done it several times with some success.
Now here comes Brellington. Puts it deep into the Grand Rapids zone as Clayton, nice little pass, sends Roloff away. Roloff comes in, looks out front. That centering pass is blocked, and picking it up is Brellington. Gets it out to center ice. Clayton covering back for the rushing Roloff, puts it into the Roseau zone, but an icing call, an IADC icing. You can shine a light on economic development in our community. Call Itasca Economic Development Corporation today.
Well, good pace to start this one, though. Neither team having success getting pucks to the net. No shots on goal for either side yet.
Face off to the right of Miskovich after the Grand Rapids icing. And they will kick Gundy out of the face-off dot. Hey, he wanted more compete. He was competing a little too much. Now here comes Drennan. Drennan gains the line. Oh, looks out front, looking for Gunderson, and it just went past him. Puck slides out to the point, and out to center ice. Here comes Brellington. Shuffles it in behind the Grand Rapids net. Stupar back to get it. Now Gunderson behind his own net. Gunderson. Nice pass ahead, gets Clayton going. Clayton. Centering pass, that doesn't connect with Gunderson. And the puck back out to center ice. And we'll have an offside call against Roseau. Face off outside the Roseau blue line. Our line chart lists Ari Lampa as the winger on that third line, but I believe, just like the Proctor game, he played 2 periods JV. He'll be out in the second.
Okay, gotcha.
Face off won by Roseau, shot into the Grand Rapids zone. We've had no shots on net, no scoring so far. As the puck out to center ice, shot back in, delayed offside. Clearing the zone was Waggy, and then he comes back in after it. Thunderhawks moving up the boards. Ryla, the little touch pass doesn't work, and is shot back into the Grand Rapids zone. Back to get it now is Simons. Simons gets the puck to Roloff. Roloff gets the pass to Garski. Garski has Ryla charging in. Ryla gets to it, centers it. Oh. Salisbury couldn't quite gain the zone in time to keep that in.
He was coming off. There was a line change there, and he just wasn't quite out there yet.
Yeah, Simons had gone off on the line change. Puck back in the Roseau zone. Back to get it is Tyler George. George moves it out to center ice. If you're whistling it tight, there probably should have been a whistle there.
And we did get a look here. There is Ari Lampa right now.
Oh, there he is. Okay. So he is out on that fourth line. Our line chart lied to us already.
That's nothing new.
Yeah, absolutely. Here comes Bymark. Bymark, Lampa, and Joey Miskovich out. And Grand Rapids did this against Proctor. They skated all 4 lines. Here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner's shot. Glove save by Miskovich, and he'll hold for the faceoff.
That's the first shot on goal. We're about 5 minutes in here in the opening period.
Yeah, and like you said, there's been good pace, just no shots on net yet. Thunderhawks will send out the Carlson line with Will Miskovich, and Duell. As Duell taps it ahead to Will Miskovich. Nice pass ahead to Carlson, who gets in. Carlson back in front, and Miskovich had it on the backhand, couldn't find it. You know, how many passes has that been right in the slot to a Grand Rapids player breaking down into the slot that just hasn't connected?
They just haven't quite connected. Pass has been just a little bit behind or a little bit too far in front.
And the Thunderhawks just offside as Miskovich gets in just ahead of Carlson. And that looked like a good scoring chance developing.
That would have been, I believe, a 2-on-1 there. Miskovich just got a little anxious, crossed that blue line just ahead of the play.
And it was really close. Body-wise, he was way ahead, but he wasn't that far ahead of the puck. As this one shot all the way down the ice by the Rams, and we'll have an IEDC icing, and the faceoff will come back in Rams territory. Thunderhawks with Gunderson, Clayton, Drennan line out there.
Thanks some sponsors now. Ray Sport Marine, Grand Itasca Clinic and Hospital, Mr. Furnace, Grand Rapids State Bank, and Atchison Tire.
Now Wenzloff moves it up the boards, and Gunderson tried to keep it in, couldn't. Long shot in on Hinson, and Hinson stops it, puts it off to the side. Marv says that was going wide. He didn't give him a shot on net there. And it probably was. Now the Thunderhawks put it in deep. Beck Hammer back to get it. Hammer fighting for it there with Clayton. Gunderson in there as well, who's going to dig it out. Gunderson able to dig it out, get it toward the net. Drennan was there, but couldn't control it. And now jumping into the play is Brelenton. Brelenton moves it back to the point to Wenzloff. Wenzloff's shot goes wide. 10:56 to go, still no score. Grand Rapids and Roseau here from Yanmar Arena. Puck squirts out to Drennan. Drennan, end of a shift, and elects to shoot it in a little early. And an icing call on the Thunderhawks. And IEDC icing will pull the face-off back to the right of Miskovich.
I'd like to throw our condolences out to head coach of the Rams, Greg Lund. Lost a family member. That's why he did not make this trip. So thoughts and prayers with Coach Lund.
Face off to the right of Miskovich, won by the Thunderhawks, and put up to Clayton now with some speed through center ice. It's poked off of Palachek's stick, and now Roloff tries to turn it around quickly. That goes off of Palachek's stick again, and shot back into the Grand Rapids zone. Roloff back to get it. Roloff goes for Garski. Garski pass ahead to Ryla. Drop pass to Roloff. Centering pass. Shot right on. Hinson the save. Backhand doesn't get through from Roloff. And fighting for it comes out in front. And now shot out and down the ice. Best chance of the game for the Thunderhawks.
Well, it was a big time save there by Hinson. His first shot on goal.
Garski puts it behind the net. Joey Miskovich tries to come out front, and unable to get a stick on it there was Garski as the puck shot into the Grand Rapids zone. Thunderhawks finish making changes. Joey Miskovich backhands it outside the zone. And now it comes back into the Grand Rapids zone. Back to get it is Roloff. Luka Roloff circles behind his net, bounces it off the half wall. As Beck Hammer for Roseau, puts it deep in the Grand Rapids zone behind the net. Tough pass goes right out in front. Lampa got enough of a stick on it to put it back into the corner. Now Lampa goes up the boards, but it's kept in the zone. Roseau trying to stick handle in with Baumgartner, and now the puck will come out to center, and the Thunderhawks will have a little bit of time to set things up through neutral ice. Tap it ahead, looking for Bymark. That doesn't connect. Back come the Rams. That shot goes wide. At the point, Hammer's shot hit a skate and goes wide. Now Carpenter gets it out to center. Long shot back in. I don't think Miskovich saw that till it was almost on him. Gloved it, left it there. Now Carpenter taps it ahead. Thunderhawks finally gain the zone. They've been stuck in their own end for a while. Now Hammer moves it up. Side. Here's Miskovich. Will Miskovich tries to backhand it in front. That's intercepted by the Rams, but taken away by Duell at center. Now here's Carlson. Tries to work his way in on the backhand. Puck comes back out to center. Carpenter. They just play with it along the boards, right?
Well, what both teams are doing a fine job of so far, they're getting sticks in the lanes, bodies in the lanes.
Carlson cuts in front and has the puck go off the end of his stick, and we're going to get an interference call. That was behind the play. Beck Hammer takes an interference call as he was taking down or impeding the progress of Will Miskovich trying to drive to the net. And a Grooms Property Service power play. They specialize in lawn care, landscaping, lot clearing, shoreline tree removal, and guess what else they do? Snow removal, which we're going to need soon.
Hasn't been so bad yet. That was an interference call, is that correct?
Yes. Roseau 100% on the penalty kill through their first 4 games. That you can't get better than that.
Can't be much better. See if the Thunderhawks can get something set up here in the offensive zone.
Then puck into the Grand Rapids zone as Roloff gains the red line, stick handles across the blue line, puts on the brakes, has it taken away, and one-on-one. Here comes Whitrick.
Well, Thunderhawks fortunate there. They had Halverson breaking to the net wide open.
Puck in the Roseau zone now.
Big hit there thrown by Halverson.
Yeah, that was Ryla who was run over, one of the smallest guys on the ice. Kept the puck in the zone at that point, but now it's cleared back into the Grand Rapids zone. Well, and boy, Roseau is just not letting Grand Rapids get set up in the zone at all yet. Duell comes after it, but that's shot back out to center as the Thunderhawks will get their second power play unit on.
Tucker Queen there breaking that up.
To the point, long shot sticked away by Miskovich. 42 seconds left in a power play that's been stuck in neutral for the Thunderhawks. Now coming in is Palachek. Gets it up on the half wall. Thunderhawks now finally gain possession in the zone with Salisbury. Salisbury.
Well, it took a minute 30 to get any zone time with control.
And a one-timer by Salisbury, whistles just wide. Now Clayton behind the net, gets it to Gunderson. He'll go back up top to Salisbury. Salisbury, ooh, tough pass to Palachuk, able to keep it in. 9 seconds left in the power play. Thunderhawks get it to Palachuk, deflected and hit the post.
Roseau fortunate there.
And now coming in, partial breakaway, shot and a save off of Baumgartner by Ryder Miskovich.
Well, remember that save right there. That was
That's going to be our save of the game. We'll give it out early this time.
a big-time save by Ryder.
On a partial breakaway.
Coming right at the tail end of that penalty. So we're back at even strength.
Now coming out, Wenzloff gets it out to center. Shots on goal, 3-2 for Roseau, and we're still scoreless. 5:21 to go, period number 1. Roloff shovels it up the wall. Thunderhawks trying to get it out. Boy, this is an aggressive Roseau team. They go after the puck.
That is a Greg Lund trait, heavy on the forecheck.
Back to the point to Peterson. Peterson gets it in the slot, tied up, and the Thunderhawks will finally come away with it. Carlson kicks it over to Duell. Duell goes down the side, gets deep into the corner. Duell loses the puck back to the point, kept in for a moment, and now the pass comes out to Bachleitner. Bachleitner takes a shot and another save by Miskovich. We'll give him that M&H Convenience save of the game on that partial breakaway. And when you're on the run looking for a quick and healthy snack or drink, M&H Convenience Store, the place to stop, and you can save 5 cents a gallon when you shop inside.
Well, you are right there when you talk about that forecheck, and it is very aggressive even when they are shorthanded.
That always means there's some open ice somewhere. You just have to find it. As Grand Rapids will get in the zone. Putting on the brakes is Palachuk. Palachuk.
And there's a play right there. You have momentum, you're going to the net, and he threw the puck behind him.
Now Ryla, his shot blocked. Nice block there by Hammer to the point. Salisbury keeps it in. Thunderhawks, shot by Garski, deflects over the net. Garski picks it up again, tries to center it for Palachuk. That doesn't connect. Back to the point, kept in by Stupar. Now a shot by Clayton, breaks his stick. And out to center ice. Coming in on the backhand. And into the corner goes Tyler George. Now back to the point. Shot by Wenzloff. That doesn't get through.
And Clayton's still out there without a stick.
Now Clayton will finally get to the bench, and we'll get a player with a stick on the ice and an IEDC icing call. And with that broken stick, you need to make a trip to Clafton Skating Equipment. That's where you can find a replacement. Hundreds of composite sticks in stock. Bauer, CCM, and True, from the beginner to the pro. They have you covered right across from Minnesota North College.
Those things are not cheap anymore, are they?
No, they're not. And even the ones the pros use do just what Clayton's did. Back to the point to Wenzloff. Wenzloff keeps it in the Grand Rapids zone. Carpenter trying to dig it out behind the net against Baumgartner. Now Rabers backhands it ahead to Bymark. Bymark will get out to center. Has the puck taken away from him by Whitrock. Whitrock goes to the far side. Puck deep in the Grand Rapids zone behind the net. Carpenter's pass will get out to center. Wenzloff turns, puts it back in the Grand Rapids zone. Rabers has to give it another try. Thunderhawks will get out to center now with Drennan. Drennan goes wide, deep behind the net, taken into the boards there by Peterson. And a great job of anticipating the pass by Gunderson. Kept it in for a moment, but the Thunderhawks could do nothing with it there. Now Roloff. Roloff into the Roseau zone again. Roloff. Stick handles in front. Puck back to the point. Kept in by Simon. Simon's shot deflects. Probably was going wide, but Hinson holds it for the faceoff.
Well, Thunderhawks, just to me, they just look a little bit out of sync here offensively. Defensively, they're doing the right things. They've limited Roseau to just 4 shots on goal, but only 2 for the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. They're just a little bit out of sync right now.
Yeah, I thought their first 5 minutes they looked actually better than what they've looked the last 5.
I would have to agree with you.
Shot goes high and wide, and the rebound flipped out and down the ice by Brelenton. That one tipped, so no icing called as Grand Rapids gets on it on the race. Duell tries to dig it out, working there against Hammer. It'll come to the half wall where Ginther can't move it ahead. Carlson wins that battle down low, moves it back out high. Here's Roloff. His shot hits a stick and goes wide. Hinson scrambles across the net, but no shot on net. Now Simon's shot, and that hits a stick and goes harmlessly over the net. Duell tried to center it. That didn't connect. Now Roloff picks it up. Works his way down the wall. Now goes behind the net. Comes out of the face-off circle. Shoots it wide. And the puck rebounds out to center. Simons has to go back for it. Simons was looking for Miskovich, but that's intercepted by Halverson. Halverson's shot hits Simons. Last minute of the period. Now here's Miskovich, and Duell overskates it. Now it's thrown out to Miskovich at center. Miskovich finds it, takes a big hit.
Halverson's not afraid to throw that body around.
Now Tyler George tries to go in. That's taken away nicely by Salisbury. Salisbury to Palachek. Palachek puts on the brakes behind the net. Salisbury tries it now and comes to the near side. 29 seconds left in the first period. No score as Roloff at the end of a line change shoots it in. Garski backhands it down low. Ryla tried to center it for Palachek. That didn't connect, and out to center ice. Rabers puts on the brakes. Rabers comes to Ryla. 8 seconds left as Ryla tries to find a spot. Goes up the far side, 2 seconds, and the puck now against the boards, and the buzzer will go. No scoring, very few shots on net, but a lot of skating happened. I think for all the players on the ice, they're going to say, we worked really hard for not much.
I agree with that. I'd like to thank our first period sponsor on our YouTube feed, SNS Meats. Appreciate the sponsorship for that. But yeah, as you said, not a lot going on here, especially on the offensive side. I think Roseau ended up outplaying Grand Rapids a little bit towards the end of that period, and they had a few better quality scoring opportunities. Grand Rapids, I would say on their 2 shots, they had 2 quality chances.
Yep, and also had one that hit the post.
Right.
We'll take our first break between periods 1 and 2 as both we're tied at 0-0. Grand Rapids and Roseau on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com. Yeah, I like how Roseau plays. They're good. They're a fast team.
They are. They use that.
They're not highly skilled with the puck, but they're fast and they get in your face.
Uh-huh.
Well, 3 minutes if I didn't tell you there, Super Joe.
You want to go on now, or you want to wait a little bit?
Welcome back to Yanmar Arena. We're between periods 1 and 2, and the game tied at 0 in a game that's had, I don't know, we keep talking about it. Lots of action, but not much for scoring opportunities.
No, both teams playing kind of close to the vest there in that first period, and we knew it was going to be a tight battle between these two, as it always is, and that's what we got in that first period.
As Grand Rapids, you know, I thought, especially early on, they were the aggressor, you know, and just nothing to show for some passes in the slot. They were behind the player on the wrong side, and not a lot of room.
Right.
That player coming down the slot was always covered pretty tight.
And both teams doing a nice job defensively. A lot of sticks in passing lanes, and they're disrupting play, and a lot of block shots by both sides.
Yeah, well, I'll be interested to see the block total and the attempted shots, because officially shots on goal are 4-2 in favor of Roseau, and you know, obviously that's not many at all.
No, and that's going to really limit my stat sheet here.
Yeah, yeah.
Which I had a game the other night where I had to use 2 pages. I ran out of room.
It doesn't look like that's going to happen this time.
So no scoring in that period. 1 penalty, and then at the 9:06 mark, that was on Roseau's backhammer for interference. Grand Rapids did not cash in on that, so 0 for 1 so far on the power play. And in goal, Abram Hinson just 2 saves on 2 shots, and for Ryder Miskovich, 4 saves
On 4 shots.
on 4 shots.
And for Ryder, his best save on that partial breakaway, that was a beauty of a save to preserve the scoreless tie.
Yeah, I agree with that. And that certainly, you got to think where the momentum would have gone had he given up that goal.
Which was like 2 seconds after that power play was
Right,
over.
it certainly could have changed the momentum of this game, but thankfully Ryder came up with a big save there.
And for Hinson, goalie's best friend helped him out. It doesn't show up as a shot, but a tip that hit the post behind him that could have made this 1-0 the other way.
I agree with that. See, we're not disagreeing.
No,
enough.
not much yet.
Not yet.
We'll do that later.
We'll get there. But Grand Rapids did have, they had a couple of quality looks. You mentioned that one. It was redirected in front, went off the crossbar, and kept them off the score sheet. But for Grand Rapids, they're going to have to pick up their intensity, and they're going to have to find a way to get open rather than passing to a covered man. You're going to have to find a way to get pucks through.
We'll take another break, and then we'll come back and we'll have Marv's extended stats and see what he came up with. I'm interested to see the blocks and some of those stats from our friend Marv Burt. You're listening, no score after 1, and you're listening to Thunderhawk Hockey on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com. Another 3, please. Back at Yanmar Arena, and we're between periods 1 and 2, no score. And okay, here's what Marv has, and I have one thought came to me as I looked at these. Shot attempts 14-14.
You know, we did mention that, but just not a lot getting through to the net.
Blocks 6 for Grand Rapids, 4 for Roseau.
And that makes sense as well.
So now, you attempt 14 shots, 4 are blocked, you get 2 to the net.
Right.
Okay? So now that means 8 shots. Either you shot it wide, you fanned on the shot, or tipped it wide. You had self-inflicted harm on over half of your shot attempts.
Right. They're not getting. They've only had a couple of quality looks.
Yep.
And Grand Rapids needs to pick that up if they're going to be successful here tonight.
Hits 3 apiece, although I will say Roseau's hits were harder hits.
I would agree with that.
I mean, there was the one Duell stapled hammer behind the net, that one early on.
And then it was Halverson for the Roseau Rams,
who ran over Ryla at the blue line twice.
Did it twice.
Face-off wins, Grand Rapids 7 wins, 4 losses for 64%. And Marv has scoring chances 1-0 for Rapids. I'm going to say I'll respect that. That's the judgment stat there, and I'll respectfully disagree and give Roseau a scoring chance on that partial breakaway.
Well, when you get a breakaway, that's definitely a scoring opportunity. And as we said,
and I thought he had a good shot on net too. It was just a great save by Ryder.
Ryder came up big there when he absolutely had to, and so like I said, for the Thunderhawks, they're going to have to come out here a little more fired up. They actually, as you mentioned, they began this game the first few minutes. Grand Rapids really looked like they were going to be in control. And then all of a sudden, here comes Roseau, that heavy forecheck, and really good defense.
Yes, and you mentioned getting open. You know, passing in hockey is a two-way street. You not only does the passer have to make a good pass, but the one receiving the pass has to get to open ice.
Right, you've got to create space somehow, some way. You can't cover everybody at every given moment, so you got to find a way to get yourself into that prime scoring spot.
And the one thing I think about is, and Grand Rapids, last year's team was one of the teams I've seen best at doing this. If your guy isn't getting open, put the puck to a soft area where he can go get it.
Right.
Don't just pass to a covered guy.
Definitely with that.
And that's what Rapids did not do last period. They kept passing to the covered guy instead of putting it to open ice and letting him go get it.
And I think some of those points were mentioned in that locker room.
Yes.
Using that big whiteboard for Coach Clapton. I'm sure he was emphasizing that very fact.
Yeah, and Clapton loves the pass to the open ice, to the soft area.
And then go get it.
Yeah.
And win a battle. That's what you have to do. Grand Rapids.
And that can diffuse that heavy forecheck, because all of a sudden that forecheck gets back on its heels.
Right. And what Grand Rapids and Roseau very evenly matched as far as the size goes. And the Thunderhawks need to use their body and their physical presence here a little bit more. Guys like Duell, guys like Roloff need to start throwing it around a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And Duell played football. They've got a couple other football players on this team, but they're not actually playing varsity a lot. Other than, Lampa. Lampa was on the football team as well.
Correct there. And for Roseau, quite honestly, looking down this roster, I would say 90% of this hockey team played football.
Okay. So Ryder Miskovich out. He will take the net to our left as we go long change period. And Grand Rapids left to right, and Roseau in the away greens going right to left. If you were around for the pregame, they will bus to Brainerd yet after the game, stay there, and then bus down to Elk River for tomorrow afternoon's game.
And that's a big game for them tomorrow as well.
That's a big section game.
It's a section game. Formerly in Section 7AA was Elk River, now in 8AA.
Puck back to the point to Rabers. Rabers' shot hits a stick, doesn't get through, and we're going to have a whistle and an interference call.
Looks like that's going to go against the Roseau Rams.
It is going against the Roseau Rams.
Halverson.
So Halverson for interference just 16 seconds into the period. A Grooms Property Service power play for the Thunderhawks. They're 0 for 1. Grooms Property Service, offering property management and snow removal.
See if the Thunderhawks can get something set up here, which they failed to do until there was about 30 seconds left in that initial power play.
So here comes Carlson. Carlson gains the line. Shovels it behind the net, comes to Garski, and the Thunderhawks indeed do get set up here a little earlier than last time. Half wall to Garski. Back to Ryla. Ryla sweeps it across for Roloff. Roloff goes to the face-off circle, but that's taken away. And out to center ice and swept down the ice by Whitrock. Thunderhawks will try to get started now in their own zone. Here comes Ryla. Ryla, rink-wide pass for Garski, who lugs it into the zone. Garski goes behind the Roseau net. He'll come back to Ryla. Ryla sweeps it for Roloff. Roloff, backhand, nice backhanded pass to Duell. Now finds Ryla. Shot goes just wide. Now that's how you beat the forecheck, or the quick puck pressure.
And that's a lot of confidence in a sophomore, having Under Ryla manning the point on this power play.
Puck centered, intercepted, and shot down the ice.
And there was case in point, pass to a covered man. It was intercepted and taken away.
Ryla turns, gets it to Carlson. Carlson gains the line, comes in, shot, saved by Hinson. Now coming in, shot goes wide off the stick of Bachleitner. Had a step on the defense. Now here's Palachek. To Gunderson. Now here's Duell. Duell puts on the brakes at the half wall. Puck comes, actually goes back down low, but Roseau in control as they go around, and both teams back at full strength. Thunderhawks 0 for 2 on the power play. Palachek backhands it down low. Thunderhawks, the power play did look a little better than the first one.
They did. They just didn't get a lot through to the net once again.
Yeah, that Ryla shot that went wide, that was certainly the best opportunity, as Palachek's shot hits a stick and that goes into the corner. Palachek trying to dig it out.
Grand Rapids managed just one shot on that last man advantage.
Like I said, the best opportunity was one that went wide. As Stupar puts it back in behind the Roseau net. Back to get it there is Taden Peterson. Peterson gets it up the wall. Roseau with a little bit of room, and that, not offside. Puck shot on net by Halverson. Boy, that looked close.
That was very close there. Halverson with a couple of nifty moves, but he did it at the blue line.
Seth Carlson stick handles in front of the net, but unable to get a shot off as the puck shoveled back behind the net. Comes up the board. Salisbury keeps it in. Digging for it there is Bymark. Duell able to get it in front. His shot turned aside. Another shot. That one by Carlson goes wide. Puck now behind the Roseau net.
For the moment, the Thunderhawks have seemingly picked up their pace just a little bit.
As the puck off the glass, down the ice, we'll have an IEDC icing call. If you're looking for a place to take your idea to reality, learn more about the Forge today from Itasca Economic Development Corporation.
And as we're thanking sponsors, I'd like to thank Northern Star Co-op, vendors, S&S Meats, M&H Convenience Store, and Super One Foods.
12:59 to go, second period, no score. Face off to the right of Abram Hinson. As the Thunderhawks win the draw, shot, guess what? Doesn't get through. As Garski's shot blocked. Palachek trying to dig it out along the wall. Now behind the net, shoveled along by Whitrock, back to the point, gets past Roloff, and Roloff loses the puck. Coming back the other way is Whitrock. His shot goes high and to the glass behind Miskovich. Now Garski. Garski shoots it in. And the puck right back out to center ice where Roloff picks it up. Roloff Now lugs it into the zone. Gets it to Garski. Garski's shot hits a stick, goes wide. Roseau out to center ice. Carrying on is Whitrock. Whitrock puts it in deep for Baumgartner. Baumgartner's centering pass goes back to the point. Kept in. Whitrock again tries to put it out front. That shot goes wide. Back to the point to Clint. His shot doesn't get through. 11:48 to go. Puck squirts out in front, and Miskovich pushes that into the corner. Now Simons. Simons' pass. Hits a stick and goes out of play. 11:37 to go. Still no score. Second period.
Well, and just like that, Roseau trying to take back that momentum. And they've done a good job. And we're back to an even game once again.
Face-off will be in the rapid zone to the right of Ryder Miskovich. Buckleitner against Caleb Gunderson. And Rabers will finally take over. Rabers gets it up the far side to Dylan Clayton. Clayton puts on the brakes. Finds a little bit of room, comes back to Rabers, and the puck goes past Rabers and out to center. That time the high-low didn't work.
Oh, and pass right, it was tape to tape.
It was. Rabers stopped that, 19 out of 20 times? As Clayton stick handled down low into the corner. Drennan can't control it. As Roseau now gets out to center ice. Possible 3-on-2. Getting back in the play was Drennan. Drennan, nice job of back checking. Gets it up to Gunderson. Gunderson taps it to Dylan Clayton. Long shot is gloved and dropped there for Clint. Clint goes up the far side, doesn't connect with the pass, and another IEDC icing. And the faceoff will come back in the Roseau zone to the right of goaltender Abram Hinson.
This period's sponsor on the YouTube feed. Thank Deerwood Bank for that.
Face-off won by the Rams as they bring it around to the near side to Waggy. Waggy goes rink wide, and the puck relayed down into the Grand Rapids zone. And we're going to have a whistle and a high sticking call on the Thunderhawks.
That's
and that will be Duell going for high sticking. You wondered if that was going to even up a little bit after two interference calls on Roseau. And a Grooms Property Service penalty kill. They are Northern Minnesota's dealer for Shoremaster Premier Waterfront Products and Legend Attachments. 18.2% on the power play for the Rams. Shot goes wide. Grand Rapids, 81.8% on the penalty kill. Well, could have been another one.
I was just going to say that Alverson got tripped up there.
Shot blocked in front, back to the point, kept in. One-timer goes wide on the far side as Gunderson trying to find it, bangs it off the wall, gets it to the point but not out. Wenzloff goes backside. Baumgartner now leaves it for Halverson, shot right on, and the save by Miskovich, and he'll hold for a face-off.
Well, it's been a good-looking power play here for the Roseau Rams so far. A lot of puck control.
Thunderhawks will send out their other penalty kill group. The roll-off, Will Miskovich, Jackson Rabers, and Seth Carlson. Face-off to the point. Oh, Miskovich tried to get it out, couldn't do it. Halverson goes back to Clint. Halverson and Clint play catch on the far side. Now Halverson, top of the circle, shot goes just wide. Comes back to the near side to Wenzloff. Wenzloff puts it in deep. Now Whitrock. Whitrock tries to center it. That's blocked. Now Roloff. Roloff gets it out to center. After it is Carlson, but it's poked the other way. And back come the Rams into the offensive zone. 46 seconds left in the Roseau power play. Clint dumps it behind the net. Rabers fans on the clearing pass, but Carlson tips it out. Carlson control it. And now Roseau in their own zone. They've run the same power play the entire time here. It's a long shift. As Roloff. Roloff can't get it past Whitrock out front, and a shot just wide by Halverson. Back to the point to Wenzloff. Wenzloff's shot doesn't get through. And now Roloff spots an opening, shoots it all the way down the ice.
The Thunderhawks come up clean on this penalty kill.
Whew. Gave up a couple great chances. Miskovich with a good save, and then at least one that was shot wide by Halverson.
Halverson with a bullet there.
8:19 to go, second period. Still no score. Shots 7-5. Yes, that is indeed a second period shot total.
That's not very many.
That is not many at all. I think we dropped into a Jacques Lemaire trap game back in the 90s.
Oh, definitely a lot of block shots here.
Grand Rapids will get it out face-off. Ryla shovels it in deep. Garski after it. He tries to go out front to Ryla. Ryla back to the point as it comes to Stupar. Stupar's shot right on. Hinson, no one in front of him, made the easy save and held.
Yeah, very clean look there for Hinson. Get a face-off down to his left.
Linesman there waiting for players to come in. It will be Palachek for the Thunderhawks. Puck squirts back to the point. Salisbury looking for a spot, shoots it wide. Back to the point, Stupar finds it, keeps it in. Garski fights for it there. Garski able to outmuscle a player for the puck, and he still has it down low. Garski to Palachek. Now Garski out front, and Ryla's shot blocked. That was just hard work. Finally got that puck out front. Now Palachek slides it across, but no one there. And Roseau now out to center. Whitrock, shot right on, rebound, hits the side of the net. Miskovich made the initial save. Now the puck out front, and the Thunderhawks will shoot it down the ice. And they will say icing. Boy, I thought Austin Clint got a piece of that. Referee says no, an IEDC icing call.
Go back to our sponsor list here. L&M Fleet Supply, Itasca Reliable, CarQuest, Northland Portables, and Paul Bunyan Communications. Thank you for your sponsorships.
I must have jinxed them. I told, as shot goes wide, Clafton, well, the one thing about this team, they've been able to put the puck in the net. Yeah, not tonight for either team, but
yet.
At the half wall, Halverson able to pick it up. He takes a shot, gets through. Oh, what?
There's your save of the game by Luka Roloff.
Luka Roloff diving behind Miskovich, knocks it out of the crease inches before it crossed the line.
Well, Ryder made the save, but he lost control of it, and it trickled behind him. And Johnny on the spot, it was Luka Roloff coming flying through there, clearing that puck in the crease.
And you can't, for Roloff, you can't freeze it there, but just knocked it away.
And didn't close his hand on it.
No, never did. Just came right through and knocked the puck into the corner. Puck shot back into the Grand Rapids zone. Boy, Roseau coming close to breaking this scoreless tie. As Duell has it go off his skate, and Roseau comes back the other way. After it is Waggy. Waggy puts it behind the net. Now it comes up the boards to Duell. Duell turns. Nice touch pass to Carlson. Carlson goes wide. Can't get it in deep. Puck at the far side, Duell. Duell able to find a little bit of room. Duell tries to drive in. He's right there with Carlson. See right there, you talk about spacing, it didn't exist there.
No.
Rabers in his own zone, backhands it across to Carpenter. Long pass ahead, goes past Duell, doesn't get a piece of it, and it's an IEDC icing on the Thunderhawks with 5:35 to go, no score. Second period action.
I don't know how we're going to rate those saves of the game. 1 and 1A and 1B.
Wow. Well, I've never given the save of a game to a non-goalie, but boy, you could there, couldn't you?
You certainly could.
Wow. As Bymark moves it up the boards. Takes a hit, but moves the puck in deep. After it is Caleb Gunderson. He takes his man into the boards. This is a frustrated Thunderhawk team, and I like what they're, just come out and be physical when you're frustrated, right?
Yeah.
And IEDC icing on Roseau. And both teams are trying to do that as well, trying to stretch that forecheck by going for the stretch pass.
And you got to be careful with that. When that gets broken up and you've got guys flying the zone, you're going to end up shorthanded in your own end.
Face-off will be to the left of Abram Hinson. Puck goes into the corner. Thunderhawks trying to double team the puck there. Roseau gets it out to center. Boy, a couple Roseau players taking some big hits. One of them right in front of the Rapid student section. As we go under 5 to play in the second period, still no score. Puck deep in the Roseau and in the corner. Getting to it there is Peterson. Peterson comes out the far side, moves it up the boards. It'll come out to center. Carpenter gets to it first, puts it to Bymark on the near side. As the Thunderhawks will gain the blue line, Joey Miskovich puts it in. Thunderhawks make changes. Pass comes into the Grand Rapids zone. Back to get it is Stupar. He's been playing a regular shift on D this game. Has the puck tapped in. Now Ryla taps it ahead for Garski. Garski takes a look out front, stops inside the blue line. Tries to play it back to Stupar. That didn't connect. Into the Grand Rapids zone. Centering pass blocked by Salisbury. Another one flipped back out.
That was Baumgartner. He tried to bank it off Miskovich from the side of the net.
Did, and ended up clearing the zone himself, and now we're going to have an IEDC icing on Roseau. 10-6 shots on net in favor of the Rams. No score, 3:50 to go, second period.
I'd like to thank Woodland Bank, Cushel and Chandler Insurance Agency, Nooches in the Corner, Riverwood Healthcare Center, and Deerwood Bank.
Face off to the right of Abram Hinson. Back to the point, shot right on, blocker saved by Hinson. Another shot, and Hinson out front. Puck goes in the net, referee's waving it off immediately.
He's going to say off the skate, looked like a kicking motion. I would have to agree. Hinson made the save off the blocker, thought he had it trapped with a glove. It came down in front of the net, players crashing the net, and it looked like it was knocked in. So that is not going to count. And the faceoff will come up. They're going to say he kicked it in because the faceoff coming all the way back into the Thunderhawk zone.
3:39 to go, second period. So we have now had one puck in the net, but it didn't count.
I think you could see on the reaction by the Grand Rapids players, they knew that wasn't going to stand up.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of argument from anyone. Puck shot into the Grand Rapids zone. Miskovich leaves it there. Stupar to Duell, goes off him. Wensloff keeps it in, works his way down, shot right on, and Miskovich makes a save. Now here comes Will Miskovich to Duell. Duell trying to come in, and Duell is leveled and twice.
No call on that. Thought it could have been a hook.
Now Roloff falls down, coming back into the zone, wraparound, and Miskovich just gets there. The second hit was solid on Duell, but the first one I thought was a hook.
And then on the way back, Luka Roloff got tangled up with a referee, and he went down. Created an opportunity for Roseau.
Now Roloff puts it down the ice, and we'll have an IEDC icing call on the Thunderhawks. Faceoff will come back to the right of Ryder Miskovich. I got to keep all my Miskoviches.
There's a bunch.
We got 3 on the team this year, and they're all getting playing time tonight.
Well.
Palachek and Halverson going against each other on the faceoff. Owen Simon gets to it first. Looking for Garski, and that pass intercepted. Tap back into the Thunderhawk zone. Roloff tries to go behind the net. Shot right on. Miskovich, a couple great saves, and here come the Thunderhawks back to center.
Boy, Tyler George, golden opportunity with the goaltender down.
Ryla, pass just behind Garski. Garski at the half wall, goes back to Simons. Now Roloff. Roloff back to Simons, center of the ice. That shot doesn't get through. Tapped. Oh, but it doesn't get out to center initially. Thunderhawks would have had some advantage going back in the zone, but couldn't control it. Now Thunderhawks behind their own net. Less than 2 minutes to go. No score in period 2. Garski's pass doesn't get through, and we'll have a hand pass called on Roseau, and this faceoff will come back in the Roseau zone.
Now things starting to heat up just a little bit here towards the tail end of this period. Still tied at 0-0, but action and chances are starting to creep for both.
Faceoff will be to the left of Abram Hinson. Puck fought for. Roseau ends up getting to it. They'll get it out to neutral ice at the Grand Rapids blue line. Bymark moves it ahead a little bit. And now coming in is Brelenton, but he's offside.
That one created a Grand Rapids player tried to throw a big hit there, completely missed. And it was an odd man rush for Roseau. Fortunately for Grand Rapids, that was just offsides.
Yeah, when you go for the big hit, you really want to at least make some contact
with somebody.
Face off outside the Grand Rapids blue line. Pavlicek and Jude Whitrock to take the draw. Thunderhawks win that. They've been really good on face-offs tonight.
And switched up these lines just a little bit.
Duell to Roloff. His shot doesn't get through. And the puck backhanded out to center ice. Rabers moves it ahead to Pavlicek. Pavlicek just gets out of the way of a hit. And is he going to...
I think that puck went out of play.
Went out of play. I was worried that Pavlicek was going to get an inadvertent high sticking call there.
The way he got spun around there. I was just going to say they'd switched up these lines a little bit now, too, for the Thunderhawks. And now maybe that was just because of a line change. I don't know. They've got Duell, Garski back together with Seth Carlson for the moment.
And
what's the discussion here?
Oh, we got a penalty call.
They're going to call that high hit by George.
So Tyler George is headed to the penalty box. That's why we had a different line combo. Grant Clafton was putting his power play out there. So the third power play for the Thunderhawks. They're 0 for 2, and that 100% penalty kill by Roseau still intact with 1:06 to go. Groom's Property Service power play, as they specialize in dock install and removal, barge services, boat, and year-round storage.
Well, they never made much of a signal, so I didn't get the call.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll get that off the score sheet in a bit. Thunderhawks with the puck in the zone. Ryla sweeps it to Roloff. Roloff back to Ryla. Ryla has it go off his stick, and that's the second or third time someone has just unforced let it come outside the zone. Now Roloff, his shot hits a stick and goes wide. Back to Ryla at the point. Ryla to Roloff. Roloff shot right on, rebound, and Garski's shot saved by Hinson. Long rebound, and Hinson had time to get over. Well, we are finally getting some shots on net. This period a little more respectable.
Yeah, you got to have that.
Roseau wins the draw, sweeps it around the boards and down the ice. Roloff goes back to get it. Miskovich leaves it there behind the net for him.
Well, third power play opportunity for Grand Rapids.
15 seconds left in the period as Ryla gains the blue line with 11 seconds left. Duell there as well, along with Ryla, as they try to dig it out back to the point with 3 seconds. And Duell puts it into the corner, and that will bring the period to an end. Still no score. Like I said, shots on goal even that period, but a few more than last period. And the last 5-6 minutes of this game started to open up. There were some good chances both ways, but neither team able to get a score that counted. We'll take a break. You're listening to Thunderhawk Hockey on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com. Three minutes, and then what do we have left?
Joel. High stick, Joel. That penalty on Roseau was too many men on the ice.
Yep. Okay. I knew I was doing a little better job of saving commercials this time. I kept running out. I was used to the 32 minutes from last year.
Yeah. I think I finished mine because I knew it was going to be running time, so I finished mine almost by the end of the second period.
Yeah.
But I knew it was going to go quick.
And not as many for the other games either as there are for boys. But no, probably not. But that was a gorgeous play. It deserves looking back on YouTube and seeing that again.
Mm-hmm.
Back at Yanmar Arena, 2 periods have decided nothing as we're still scoreless. Grand Rapids will be on the power play for another 54 seconds of the third, and we had a few more shots on goal, Jason.
Well, things picked up there a little bit and went back and forth in that period. Neither team, they would take the momentum for a moment and then it would give it right back. So neither team really asserting themselves here, but we did have quite a few more chances in that period by both teams.
Yeah, and shots on goal 9 apiece, which is a little more realistic for a period.
Right, I agree with that. Grand Rapids Ryder Miskovitz stood tall. He with a little help from his friends.
You'll need to get bailed out sometimes. Abram Hinson was bailed out by a goalpost in the first period, and Ryder Miskovich was bailed out by Luka Roloff in the second.
Right, the shot, he had it, and it trickled through his equipment, ended up behind him, was going in the net, and here comes Luka Roloff diving through the crease there. Did everything right on that play. Didn't close his hand on the puck in the crease, and he got rid of it. Didn't freeze it there. He got rid of it to the corner. So crisis averted for the moment for Grand Rapids.
And we're still scoreless. And Grand Rapids with a couple decent chances at the first minute, 6 of that power play, and they'll have 54 more seconds to go on that when we start period number 3. But right now, we're still scoreless. We'll take a break, and then we'll run down all the stats we can think of in period 2 as we're scoreless after 2 on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com. 3. And because it's the chuck-a-puck period, we should be able to do another 2 after this and leave us 3.5 for after the game, which I don't mind at all. Oh, okay. And IEDC Icing, Itasca Economic Development Corporation, who sponsors all our icings.
Been enough of them.
There have been. Someone on YouTube was asking, what kind of an icing is that?
Okay. Oh, I gotcha.
Because I don't do their whole read every time.
Right.
Limit to how many times I'll do your commercial for the amount of money you pay, right?
Yeah.
But I'll maybe elaborate on it a little bit more during the game now. If I didn't even think of that someone wouldn't know at all what I was talking about.
Right.
And icing brought to you by Itasca Economic Development Corporation, and then leave it go at that. "34 minutes of hockey played, and no one's lit the lamp yet, as Grand Rapids and Roseau still scoreless. You have some penalties and a few things to report, Jason.
A few things. 2 penalties in that period on the Roseau Rams at the 16-second mark. Jake Halverson went off for interference, and then late in that period at 15:54, too many men on the ice for the Roseau Rams. That penalty being served by Tyler George. 54 seconds left of power play opportunity here for the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. Officially now 0 for 2 with a little bit of time remaining here on their third opportunity. And for Grand Rapids, 1 penalty in that period. It was Jamison Duell with a high sticking call at the 6:33 mark, and Grand Rapids killed that off, so the Roseau Rams 0 for 1. Shots on goal in that period, 9 apiece, meaning both goaltenders, Ryder Miskovich and Abram Hinson, both with 9 saves. 13 on the game so far for Ryder, and 11 so far for Hinson.
So does Ryder get credit for the save that got behind him?
No. He does not.
Yeah, but it's a shot on net that didn't go in the net.
No, it actually, because it had gone off him. So
okay.
It trickled through, so he made the initial save and didn't control the rebound that had gotten behind him, so they didn't get a second shot. It was still the continuation of that first shot. That's where Luka came through.
Okay. But there's still a shot on goal that didn't go in the net.
Yes.
That wasn't blocked.
Yes.
So it has to be a save.
Well, he made the initial save.
Yeah.
But it didn't.
That's what I said. He gets credit for the save.
No, it would just be like it going to the corner because it didn't go in the net on that initial shot.
No, but he still gets credit for the save on the initial shot.
Yes, on the initial
Even
shot.
though it would have gone in
Right.
without roll-off.
Yep, it does count as a save. There, we almost disagreed.
We almost disagreed, but we just misunderstood each other. Shot attempts 17 for Rapids, 18 for Roseau. Blocks 4 for Rapids, 5 for Roseau. Hits 4-3 Rapids. Face-off wins, 7 wins, 10 losses for 41%. And scoring chances 4 apiece. How you doing, buddy? And I would more agree with that.
I concur with that.
And you know, it got those scoring chances started coming fast and furious towards the end of
Right.
that period.
And that's
for both teams.
At the beginning, Grand Rapids had an opportunity. Then they let that momentum shift back to Roseau. Then Roseau had that for a little bit. Then Grand Rapids took it back, and it was back and forth really in that period, very evenly played. And as you said, those shots on goal started to pile up more in the later half of that period versus the beginning of it. And now we'll see what Grand Rapids with a fresh sheet of ice, see what they can do with this 54 seconds left on the man advantage.
We'll take one more break. We'll come back with third period action. Nothing's decided yet as it's tied 0-0 after 2 on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com. And 2 minutes should leave us 3.5, right? And back at Yanmar Arena, both teams back on the ice as we get set for third period action. As we said, nothing's been decided yet. We're tied at 0-0. Sheldon Willis along with Jason Merritt. Super Joe back at the station keeping us honest as Grand Rapids and Roseau, another tight one.
We knew it was going to be close. We didn't expect a scoreless game through 2 periods of play. But that's what these two teams do, and this is going to take some late heroics, hopefully for the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks to get this victory. And then they've got to turn around and do it again tomorrow afternoon. Both teams do.
Yes, exactly right. Roseau has to do it after a 3-hour bus ride that they're splitting up between tonight and tomorrow.
Right, they're gonna leave here, stay in Brainerd, and then make their trek down to Elk River for that big section game for them. And for the Thunderhawks, they've got a very tough Warroad team we don't know a lot about, though, because they've only played once, and they're playing tonight. And, of course, we can't get any updates from Virginia.
Yeah, no, I was just checking, and nothing there.
They certainly don't.
Although I got a friend on Twitter who might find it somewhere.
Right.
He did text me that Moorhead was leading Andover 1-0 after 1.
Okay, very tough. 2 very tough teams there.
Yeah.
We'll quickly throw this out there, too. Thank you for our third period sponsor, Rapids Roof Truss, on our YouTube feed. Bringing that to you here.
And here we go. Grand Rapids, again, they are on the Grooms Property Service power play for the next 50 seconds as the puck into the Roseau zone. Rings the boards. It'll come all the way out into the Grand Rapids zone where Roloff picks it up. Roloff, the first non-goalie to get an M&H convenience store save of the game. Brings it into the zone. Roloff has to go behind the net. Kicks it back to his stick. Now goes far side to Garski. Back to Roloff. Roloff has it go outside the zone. Third or fourth time that's happened.
I was just going to say we've seen that several times here by the Thunderhawks. A little too many stick handling moves at the blue line, creating that delayed offside opportunity.
Thunderhawks will gain the zone with Duell. Duell sweeps it to the half wall to Roloff. Both teams back at full strength. Puck comes to the near side. Salisbury puts it behind the net. Garski back behind looking for Carlson, but out come the Rams. Gaining the blue line, putting on the brakes was Baumgartner. Baumgartner shovels it down low for Queen. Queen takes a hit, but the puck squirts into the corner. Garski fights for it along the boards. And the Thunderhawks will dig it out, get it to center. Get it to Carlson. Carlson on the backhand, powers his way in. No one was there to help as Duell takes his man hard into the boards. That was Queen who took the brunt of that.
A little slowly on that one. Did get an update on that Warroad Rockridge game from an old friend of ours.
Out front, shot, save, rebound, another save by Hinson. Two cracks at it right at the edge of the crease by Andrew Ryla, turned away by Hinson. Now let's get the update.
Well, that was the best two chances. Let's cover that
absolutely.
first. Best two chances of the night for the Thunderhawks, and they came off the stick of, was that Andrew Ryla?
Yep.
Okay, Ryla with a couple of opportunities there. So anyways, update from our old friend Jason Groth says 0-0 scoreless hockey game between Warroad and Rockridge.
So between these four teams and what, probably 5 periods now, we've had no scoring.
Somewhere around there.
Or 4 periods.
I would say 4 because I would think that that Rockridge game started at 7.
Ryla shovels it toward the net. That's tipped wide. Palachek backhands it behind the Roseau net where Wensloff picks it up. Wensloff up to Tyler George. Poke checked away. Drennan after it, but couldn't quite connect with it, and the puck shot into the Grand Rapids zone. Miskovich leaves it there for Rabers. Rabers comes near side. That puck goes past everybody and will slide down the ice. That's an Itasca Economic Development Corporation icing. And if you're looking for a place to take your idea to reality, learn more about the Forge today from Itasca Economic Development Corporation.
A few more sponsors to thank here as well. Ray's Sport and Cycle, Grand Rapids Chevrolet and GMC, Sammy's Pizza Hut of Grand Rapids, Timberlake Lodge, Claremont McBride Financial, and Fred's Live Bait and Tackle Winnie Trading Post.
Puck shot behind the Grand Rapids net. Grand Rapids now leads in shots on goal as they come out and get the first, 4 shots in this period?
Yeah, right in there. Yeah, well, there was 11, so we got 3 shots.
3 shots, yeah.
It was coming on the power play.
Thunderhawk, 2 of them by Ryla right from the edge of the crease. Here comes Duell. Duell chases it in. Carrying on is Carlson. Carlson tries to sweep it back to the point, but there was no one at the point. Goes all the way down the ice.
And we didn't mention in that in between periods there that Grand Rapids did have a goal disallowed in that second period.
Now here comes Carlson. Breaks the blue line again. As the puck now rebounds all the way back down the ice.
Luka Roloff ended up in the net.
Yeah, he was taken there. He didn't go on his own volition. Roloff at the blue line. We'll put it in deep. Gunderson can't keep it in. Now here's Salisbury. Salisbury, his own blue line. Tap it ahead for Caleb Gunderson. Gunderson for Drennan. Drennan's shot got behind Hinson but went wide.
I had a man breaking once again.
Did.
Had a man wide open coming down the slot.
Now a shot doesn't get through. Dylan Clayton tries to go the other way. Now here's Baumgartner. Baumgartner Shot right on from a sharp angle, and Miskovic makes the save and able to corral the rebound and hold it.
Well, that was a classic example of what we were talking about in the pregame show, of not sharing the puck and getting it to the open man. And right there, Drennan came down that right side, had a man breaking to the net, chose to shoot, and it was a quality shot. It did beat the goaltender, but it went through the crease.
Yep. And he had Clayton all alone.
Right.
Don't know if he didn't see him or, was trying to do the pass off the goalie, but whatever happened didn't work. That shot for Roseau doesn't get through from the point by Winslow. Now at the half wall, Tyler George tries to bring it in back to Winslow. Thunderhawks take that over, and Miskovic works his way down the wall. Puck goes off his stick, and yes, I think we do have some different line combos going as well. We'll try to figure out what's happening with that in a moment, unless we're still getting back on schedule after the power play, as Miskovic finds Palachek to Garski. His shot goes just wide.
Had a good clean look there.
Now the puck to Garski. Garski can't control it. Puck goes into the netting, and we'll have a face-off in the Roseau zone.
Well, you were talking about how many Miskovic's were on this team here tonight. Fun fact is next season at the University of Crookston, Eli Wensloff on this hockey team is committed to play baseball there. So there's going to be 4 Wensloffs on that team and 2 Millers. So six of your 9 starting spots are going to be taken up by brothers and cousins.
Thunderhawks with Carlson. Carlson drives into the corner, has Duell in front of the net, plays it back. Guess what? Goes past everyone. That is the 3rd time this period that Grand Rapids has iced the puck on themselves. Of course, it's not blown dead, but tried to go back to the point and nothing happening. As Carlson gets to it, tries to slide it in front. That's blocked into the corner. Now the puck comes out front, and standing on the puck is Salisbury.
Bouncing puck there.
Roseau into the Grand Rapids zone. That puck may have hit the post on the short side. Thunderhawks behind their own net. Carlson passes it to the far side, and that will go far enough for an Itasca Economic Development Corporation icing. Icing brought to you by IEDC. Face-off back in the Grand Rapids zone.
Little shove there from a Grand Rapids player. Austin Clint didn't like that, but both parties head to their own bench.
Looked like the referee came over and gave maybe a little warning, saying that was close.
Right.
Shot! They score! That changed directions right in front of the net and beat Miskovic off to the short side. I believe that went off a Grand Rapids defenseman and into the net. And getting credit for it, Jude Whitrock, unless it was Whitrock that deflected it. It certainly changed directions.
Well, they break the ice, so to speak, here in the 3rd. With 10:36 to go. See if we can pick up those assists.
We can read them at some point. Now a long shot and a glove saved by Miskovic. He'll hold on. They go Whitrock from Hammer on the official score call. So Hammer was the one who took the shot from the point. Long shot goes over the net. As the Thunderhawks now down 1. They have twice come back in the 3rd period to force overtime. Once against Forest Lake, once against Moorhead.
A tough break there for Miskovic on that goal because he had it going one direction.
Yep.
It hit a body in front, came back towards an open net, and that's where Whitrock poked it through.
That shot doesn't get through as Ryla sweeps it back to Carpenter. Carpenter goes to Roloff. His shot goes wide. Nice job by Carpenter getting over to keep it in, but now that pass, Ryla's pass, hits a body and goes out to center. Thunderhawks trying to make some changes as Palachek comes off the ice. Tyler George works his way in. Puck behind the Grand Rapids net, 9:30 to go. It's a 1-0 Roseau lead.
I see a little more jump in the step here. These Roseau players, Grand Rapids, a little bit on their heels.
Puck out to center ice where Peterson puts it back into the Grand Rapids zone. Carpenter behind the net. Puck backhanded out to center, and Roseau just content to keep Grand Rapids at bay right now. As this one doesn't connect, and back here comes Waggy. Waggy leaves the boards. Ooh, that one hit body in front. And Garski, his pass doesn't quite connect. After it is Duell. Duell is taken down. He's horse-collared. And this will be a penalty on Taden Peterson. You call it a couple different things.
See what the official call is. The horse collar tackle is what it was. Holding.
They're going to call holding. They could have called hooking. They could have called high sticking.
Taden Peterson, a sophomore.
So it is a Grooms Property Service power play. Grand Rapids is 0 for 3 on the power play. Grooms Property Service offering property management and snow removal. Puck back to the point. Guess what? Gets past Roloff.
Oh, that's going to be a little bit frustrating.
Garski at neutral ice. Backhands it ahead to Roloff. Roloff at the red line. Trying to find a little bit of room. Does. Makes a shot. Gets it on net. Fairly easy save for Hinson. Now Roloff goes to Garski. Boy, it's just like, I don't know if you're holding the stick too tight or what, but nothing's bouncing. Back to Roloff. Roloff's shot goes wide.
Oh, a heavy shot there, but he got to hit the net.
Garski back to Roloff. Roloff walks the blue line. His shot doesn't get through. And it's cleared out to center ice.
Well, Grand Rapids seemingly trying to force things right now.
Now coming in. Roloff loses it behind the net, and that's cleared down the ice. Salisbury has to hurry to get there ahead of Baumgartner. Still fighting for it, and Baumgartner with a good chance of finally out-muscling Salisbury for the puck and gets a great shot on Miskovich.
Some lackadaisical play here by the Thunderhawks. Even on the power play, they coughed that up and had to rely on Miskovich to make a big save.
And the faceoff will be in the Grand Rapids zone. Defensive zone faceoff when you're on the power play. You don't like to see that. Thunderhawks do win the draw. Ryla will put it to Palachek. Palachek, his pass doesn't get through. Thunderhawks do gain control in the zone. Palachek's one-timer. Pad save by Hinson, and the rebound goes just past Gunderson. That was Palachek loaded up on that one-timer.
Oh, you see what happens when you move the puck around. Create an opportunity.
Now coming in, stick handling in was Ryla. Ryla tries to move it back to the point. Instead goes down low for Dylan Clayton. Clayton moves it to Gunderson. Gunderson with 1 second left in the power play. They shoot it down the ice, and this will be an Itasca Economic Development Corporation icing call. 1-0 Roseau, 6:42 to go. Period number 3.
Well, an opportunity for the Thunderhawks to tie this one up. Now they got to start thinking about a little desperation time, down to just 6:42 remaining here in the third period.
Duell taking the draw. Comes in, shot, rebound. Oh, Carlson, 2 cracks at it, couldn't put it past Hinson.
And Hinson, a couple of big saves there, and the Thunderhawks just kept off inches away from tying this up.
It's just been one of those that, I mean, take nothing away from the Roseau Rams, but it's been one of those puck luck games as that one bounces offside.
Oh, very, very close. That puck lying in the crease. Hinson got across, made another save. So a couple there.
Faceoff will be outside the Roseau blue line. 1-0 Roseau lead, 6:19 to go. Face-off won by the Thunderhawks. Shot in by Rabers. Comes back to the point, out to center. Palachek has to retreat. He'll turn for Rabers, put it up the boards. Now Palachek. Palachek keeps it in the zone. Backhands it behind the net. Will Miskovich goes after it. Puck out front. Ryla bounces off a couple players but can't get a stick on it. Now a shot doesn't get through from Rabers. Puck still bouncing around, and finally getting it out is Wentzloff. As he puts it in on Miskovich, and Miskovich will hold it for a face-off. Little Andrew Ryla looked like a pinball in a pinball machine trying to get in front of the net, didn't he?
He managed to keep his feet, however.
Face-off will be back in the Grand Rapids zone. To the left of Ryder Miskovich, a 1-0 Roseau lead. Shot right on, nice save by Miskovich. Puck goes into the corner. Queen can't keep it in. Shot back into the Grand Rapids zone where Roloff goes after it. Roloff leads the charge, but has the puck taken off his stick. Shot back into the Grand Rapids zone. Miskovich leaves it there for Carpenter. Brings it up for Carlson. Carlson off the boards out to center. Now picking it up, Carlson again. Carlson gets in the drag, and the shot goes off the glove of Hinson. Now Carlson behind the net to Garski. Garski out front. Carlson robbed by Hinson. Carlson to Garski, another save by Hinson. Thunderhawks throwing everything at Hinson.
Well, a couple of real good looks here for the Thunderhawks.
Coming back in is Carlson. Carlson tight ropes his way down the wall. Back to the point. Kept in on the backhand by Carpenter. That shot goes wide at the post. Carlson tries to catch Hinson napping. That wasn't going to happen. And Hinson holds for a face-off. Best shift of the night, though, for the Thunderhawks.
100% on that. And Grand Rapids, like you said, throwing everything at this goaltender. And Hinson's standing tough right now for the Roseau Rams.
Gunderson line comes out. Puck goes to the far side. Gets it to Ginther. Ginther out to center. Thunderhawks stop it there. Wentzloff picks it up in front of his own net. Gets it out to center. Nice turn by Halverson. Can't get it away from Clayton. Thunderhawks, long shot goes over the net. Roloff in his own zone. Roll off to Rabers, that's blocked. And offside by Roseau. 3:54 to go, under 4 to go. A 1-0 Roseau lead. Face-off will be outside the Grand Rapids blue line. Thunderhawks send Palachek, Ryla, and Miskovich out. Palachek sweeps it in deep. Back to get it is Hammer. Hammer moves it up the boards. Miskovich after it, as well as Ryla. Hammer tries to go behind the net. Ryla backhands it back to the point, gets it to Salisbury. Salisbury's shot hits the stick and goes out of play.
A very smart play there by Andrew Ryla. Sees the ice very well, but he was going down and saw an open man at the point. Managed to get the puck back to him, trying to create an offensive opportunity, but nice little play by that young man.
And what it does is it at least preserves an offensive zone faceoff. Will Miskovich to take the draw. Puck cleared back to the point. Oh, they say kept in.
Say good at the line there.
Didn't matter because it's cleared out now. As Palachek. Palachek tries to backhand it out front. Puck at the post. And Hinson lays the trapper on top of it and holds it for a faceoff.
Well, this is exactly what we've seen over these last 4 seasons, you and I, with these games coming down to the wire. Going to take a late goal here by the Thunderhawks, try and send this to overtime.
Palachek gets it toward the net, batted out of the air by Ryla. Now a backhand goes high by Palachek. Back to the point. One-timer goes wide. And the puck shot out down the ice. And an icing call on Roseau.
Oh, so close here for the Thunderhawks.
Boy, hand-eye coordination by Riley. Took that at knee height.
And got good wood on it.
Yes, he did. And Hinson still up to the challenge. Face-off will be to the right of Abram Hinson. Face-off won by the Thunderhawks. Carpenter, one-timer, he scores! Luka Roloff ties it up!
Well, there's your late goal.
Luka Roloff 2 years ago.
There you go.
As the Thunderhawks tie it up. Luka had 2 goals against Proctor, now has 1 more tonight. It's a big one, tying it up with 2:49 to go. I told him before the game I was looking for him for a post-game interview, and he left the ice too soon. So, shoot, I said, I'll get you again. I think he's on the list now. All tied at 1. Thunderhawks, 2 of their 4 games have gone into overtime. Might as well make it 3 out of 5, I guess. As Carlson take it down. Puck comes out to center where Roloff picks it up. Roloff doesn't like what he sees, so comes rink wide. Now Carpenter shoots it in deep into the corner. Wensloff back to get it. Relayed out to center, down the ice, and we'll have an icing call brought to you by Tasca Economic Development Corporation. Right now, Roseau's on their heels.
Yep, and that goal is going to be Luka Roloff. He's going to get assists from Job Carpenter and Jamison Duell to tie things up here at 1, late in the 3rd.
Well, Grant Clafton said he likes low to high.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. Dug out by Duell, back to Carpenter, rink wide to Roloff, one-timed it home from the point. Thunderhawks win the draw. Shot goes wide. Interesting, that was going for the exact same spot that Roloff scored on. Low stick side. Puck out to center ice, and here's a breakaway. Coming in, shot goes wide.
We're going to get a penalty here on
off
Grand
the
Rapids.
stick of Brelenton. Shot into the corner, and as
penalty.
the Thunderhawks touch it, we will have that hooking call going against Salisbury. So with 1:43 to go, tied at 1, and a penalty that if Roseau does not score will roll over into the overtime. A Grooms Property Service penalty kill, specializing in lawn care, landscaping, lot clearing, and shoreline tree removal. Puck all the way down the ice. Roseau back to get it.
Oh, a big kill here needed from Grand Rapids, tied at 1.
They have a couple shorthanded goals on the year. As the Thunderhawks trying to get it behind the net, but when you're tied, you can't do too much looking for the shorty.
Well, like you said, they're not trailing. One of those shorthanded goals came heroically from Salisbury against Forest Lake, shorthanded.
Now in the zone is Wensloff. Wensloff, his pass, hits a body and comes out to center ice, and back to get it is Clint.
Final minute here.
Austin Clint tied at 1, gains the blue line, taken away by Drennan, and the Thunderhawks have so far given Roseau nothing. Nothing, zero, not a zip on this power play. That can change in a heartbeat. Halverson comes in. Puck bounces around. Thunderhawks get it out to center. Backhanded back into the Grand Rapids zone. Roloff turns in his own zone in the corner, takes a look, and fires it down the ice. 22 seconds left in regulation, 35 in the penalty, tied at 1. Halverson brings it up the ice. Blue line, tries to drag it past Roloff. Puck goes behind the net, comes out in front of the net, and Gunderson shoots it down 4 seconds, and that should do it for regulation. And the Thunderhawks also taking advantage of the fact that the referees would have probably needed a felony to call a penalty, another penalty on Grand Rapids.
Definitely, there was some question on that last takedown of Halverson.
Yes.
But Grand Rapids did get away with one there.
So 17 seconds left in the Grand Rapids penalty. Tied at 1 as we head to overtime. Rapids going for the 3rd time this year. As, they scored a shorty. I believe that was Garski that scored the shorty against Forest Lake, though, to tie it up.
Yes. Did I say somebody?
You said Salisbury.
Oh, I meant Garski. I was listening to your call on that in the Forest Lake game. You said he had no legs, but he sure had a shot.
Yes, yeah. Well, the interesting thing, I remember that goal so vividly. Early on in that penalty kill, Garski blocks a pass and gets a breakaway, drove in, and was robbed by the Forest Lake goaltender. Later on, end of a shift, gets a chance at a breakaway, looks up, says there's no way, and just cruised off to the side, picked a corner, and sniped it home.
Well, here we are once again. Now, this for the 5th consecutive year. A 1-goal game is going to happen or a tie.
Yes, it is.
And it's gone back and forth every other year.
It's Rapids' turn, isn't it?
It is. After last season in Roseau, a late goal by the Rams.
We're on a little bit of a home team run. And I will just say, Roseau did not get a sniff in that power play in regulation. Grand Rapids was all over it.
Yep, 17 seconds left in that man advantage. Not much, a little bit to talk about, I guess.
Yes, 2 goals.
First goal scored at the 6:24 mark, Jude Wittrock, and he got an assist from Beck Hammer, putting Roseau up 1-0 at that point. And then the Thunderhawks make that comeback, and it was Luca Roloff from Job Carpenter and Jamison Duell to tie it at 1. A couple of penalties in that period. Tank Peterson for holding for Roseau. Grand Rapids did not capitalize. They are 0 for 4 on the power play. And Alex Salisbury went for hooking late in that period. Still 17 seconds left in his penalty. Shots on goal in that period, 5 for the Roseau Rams, 11 for Grand Rapids. As they came out and they really, once they went down 1-0, they really responded. So 10 saves from Abram Hinson in that 3rd period, 4 for Ryder Miskovich, and we are knotted up at 1 apiece here, heading to another overtime.
And Super Joe says, do we pick who gets an OT winner?
He sure can. I don't know if I'm ready for a call in my first game back here with Rapids, but
okay, yeah, I think you are.
And I'll say, who I think is going to score. I think it's going to be Jamison Duell.
That's going with the odds. I like Duell. Duell had the overtime winner early against Forest Lake. I'm going to go with Garski. I think Garski's ready to score again. Puck shot down into the Roseau zone, and that should just about do it for the Roseau power play as we are in overtime, tied at 1. Here comes Halverson. Halverson drags it into the corner, both teams at full strength. Halverson in the Grand Rapids zone as Salisbury gets back. And the puck comes out to center. Here's Duell. Duell comes in, slides it in front behind Carlson. Roloff flips it toward the net. That doesn't get through. Oh, Duell had a golden opportunity. Tried to set up Carlson as this puck hits Roloff. Doesn't get through. Back to the point. And will get out to center. Garski turns, finds a Duell on the far side. Duell takes a shot. And that hits traffic, hits a stick, and goes out of play. Tied at 1. We're in overtime. 7:08 to go. And Super Joe goes with Andorila.
All right. Oh, my guy had a couple opportunities there.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Ryla Palachuk, Will Miskovich out there right now. Offensive zone draw. Thunderhawks win the draw.
I think
behind the net goes Will Miskovich. Puck slides to the far side. Palachuk.
Those whistles pretty much swallowed as Andorila was hauled down from behind.
Back to the point. Salisbury shot. Pad save right at the goal line. Just getting his pad there was Hinson.
That was a nice save by Hinson.
Puck behind the Roseau net. Shots on goal now 23-18 Grand Rapids. Like you said, they have just dominated ever since Roseau got that goal. Off the wall, doesn't get out. Kept in by Rabers. Now Palachek. Palachek works his way down the half wall. Spins. Comes back. Rabers unable to keep it in. Here's a little bit of room for Whitrock. Or Baumgartner. Baumgartner's shot goes behind the net.
Boy, fanned on that. Trying to go for the big bomb.
Puck behind the Grand Rapids net. Up to the half wall. Queen can't get it. And the shot right on. Stick saved by Miskovich. Baumgartner gets it back to the point. That shot blocked. And now Roseau pushing back a little bit. Hammer's shot goes wide. Rebound comes to the near side. Garski, he's just going to golf it. No icing. Comes right on net. Thunderhawks, if they're going to make changes, better hurry.
That's some tired legs on that shift.
Yes, they did. Now here's Roloff. Roloff in his own zone. He'll circle behind the net. Put on the brakes, just skated right into trouble. Kept looking for room, never got it. As this one turned aside, Roloff this time back to the point, doesn't get it out.
Got a man uncovered in front.
And now Garski gets it out to center. Garski has Duell going with him. Garski tries to get in front, backhands it toward the net. Carlson can't get a stick on it. Back to the point. One-timer from Carpenter, he scores! Joe Carpenter sends the hometown crowd back home happy as he takes a one-timer from the point, beats Hinson high, and it's a 2-1 overtime win for the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks.
Oh, there we go. What else do you expect between Roseau and Grand Rapids?
None of us picked him. But Joe Carpenter gets the overtime winner as the Thunderhawks win 2-1, a come-from-behind victory, and a hard-fought game. We'll take a break. Jason will run down what you can, and I'll get the 2 goal scorers.
There you go.
I think that's who we need for our post-game interview. We'll also have our Motor Shop 3 stars. You're listening to Thunderhawk Hockey on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com.
Welcome back here to Yanmar Arena. Jason Merritt with you. I'll be rejoined by Sheldon Willis here momentarily as he's down getting a couple of post-game interviews. But what a hockey game we had here tonight between the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks and the Roseau Rams. Grand Rapids trailed late in that third period by a score of 1-0. They come back. Luka Roloff ties it up late, and then Grand Rapids gets the game winner in overtime from Job Carpenter. Run down some stats here for you. Nothing but penalties for the first two periods. No scoring to speak of. Roseau got 3 penalties in that first period, and Grand Rapids was 0 for 3 on the power play. At that point, another third period penalty for Roseau. Grand Rapids did not capitalize. Grand Rapids 0 for 4 on the power play this evening. And for Grand Rapids, Jamison Duell picked up a penalty in the second, and Alex Salisbury picked up a penalty in the third period, and Roseau went 0 for 2 with the man advantage. Shots on goal by period. Roseau 4 shots in the first, 9 in the second, 5 in the third, and 2 in overtime for a game total of 20. And for Grand Rapids, 2 shots in that first period, 9 shots in the second, 11 in the third, 3 in the third, or in the fourth period, in the overtime, 25 saves or shots for Grand Rapids. Roseau saves. Abram Hinson, 18 for the game, and Ryder Miskovich, actually that's reversed. It would be Ryder Miskovich only gave up 1 goal, so 19 saves for Miskovich and 23 saves for Abram Hinson. And again, the Grand Rapids scoring. Luka Roloff tying it late, assisted by Job Carpenter and Jamison Duell. And then it was Job Carpenter in overtime from Duell. And for Roseau, their lone goal, Jude Whitrock, and he was assisted by Beck Hammer, that in the third period as well. As I see Sheldon kind of huffing and puffing, making his way back. He's got his interviews, and you've got your stats. But again, a thrilling victory here once again, and it came down to another overtime between these two squads, and it's been 5 straight years of 1-goal games. Just saying, Sheldon, 5 straight years of 1-goal games between these two teams. They always entertain. Let's put it that way.
They do. Grand Rapids this year, in alternating years, comes out on top with that 2-1 overtime victory. And let's get to our post-game interview. Luka Roloff, Job Carpenter on our post-game interview. And Luka, you get the game-tying goal. But boy, for a while there in the second and third periods, I've never seen as many pucks bounce wrong.
Oh, I know. We just couldn't get the puck under control and get it on net. We couldn't score. I mean, but it counted. We scored when it counted, so that's good.
And defensemen getting both goals. Job, talk about that OT winner for your first varsity goal.
I mean, that's a crazy experience for me. I was just calling for the 1T from JMO, and he just happened to see me, so I just put it on net. I thought there was going to be a rebound. There was no rebound. It was just in.
Actually, my first goal was against Roseau overtime, too. So.
Oh, yeah, that was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, we got the same first goal.
And this team, now that's the third time you've come back down in the third period to tie it and send it to overtime. And I know the games maybe haven't been real pretty, but does that show some grit and some determination?
Yeah, I mean, we're just taking care of pucks towards the end of the game. We're just trying to get it on net and do what we can do and try to win games. And we've been doing that, so.
Well, and I think how much you dominated after Roseau went ahead by 1. It was like it was a different team out there.
Yeah, I think we just had to step up our game once we saw that we were down, and we just had to pull out with the win. Nothing else mattered. All that mattered was the win, and we got it done.
So what does it take to play like that before you're down 1, Luka?
Be prepared and show up to the game ready and preparation.
And quick turnaround, good Warroad team coming in tomorrow. What do you do between now and 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon?
Get a lot of sleep, eat a lot of carbs, and drink a lot of fluids. And I think we just got to stretch and get mentally prepared for the game tomorrow.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thank you. And that is Luka Roloff and Job Carpenter. Job's first varsity goal, and Luka says, that was my first varsity goal, overtime against Roseau.
And we remember that well. That time 2 years ago, you and I were on opposing sides.
Yep.
But still seeing the same results. And they did add a second assist on Job Carpenter's goal at the 3:04 mark of overtime. It is Job Carpenter from Duell and Roloff.
So Roloff, a 2-point night out of 2 goals, goal and an assist. And thank you to both of them on the post-game interview. Always easier when you win.
Certainly.
Job was mobbed when he came off the ice.
I
don't know
bet
if
he
you-
was.
Yeah, he was. And time for our Motor Shop 3 stars as we wrap it up. If your snowblower isn't running, it's time to get it running, and the Motor Shop can do that. They're on Highway 169 east of Grand Rapids, and they also offer mobile and in-shop welding repair. So if you need them to come to you, they can do that. Give them a call at the Motor Shop. What do you got? I sometimes argue a little bit, but not too much.
I'll let you read them off. There's the number one that I have.
Well, you get an overtime winner, and I think you got to be the number one star. The one thing I'm saying is we got to have Ryder Miskovich as one of the stars. He had some great saves, gives up 1 goal on 20 shots. I think he needs a star somewhere. I don't know who you take out. But
Well, it's kind of tough there. You look at he did make 23 saves on the night, or check that he made 19
saves
on the night.
And, stopped a breakaway right after they were down 1-0. Could have been 2-0 right there in the game out of reach. I'm just saying Ryder needs a star.
Okay, we can give him probably the 3 then.
Give him the 3, okay.
Luka Roloff with the 2 points, a goal and an assist here.
Yep, give him the 2.
Jameson, we'll give him honorable mention with 2 assists.
Okay.
And at clutch times. He assisted on the game tying goal and he assists on the winner. So he'll get honorable mention here tonight.
Okay. Well, I can live with that.
Okay. See, we're getting along too well in our old age.
We are. We're both mellowing as we get grayer. So there you go. Your Motor Shop 3 stars. Number 1, Job Carpenter, his first varsity goal and a game winner. Luka Roloff, the game tying goal in the 3rd and an assist on the game winner. And Ryder Miskovich, the number 3 star. Jamison Duell, 2 assists for an honorable mention. And JV comes out with a 5-1 victory.
So clean sweep here of the Roseau Rams at home on a Friday evening. Can't ask for much more.
And tomorrow, Warroad, the Warriors coming into town 2 o'clock, and we'll have a approximately 1:30 pregame right here on J105 The Thunder. The hometown fans go home happy with 2 late goals, Roloff to tie, and Carpenter to win it in overtime. 2-1 overtime victory for the Thunderhawks. And thanks, Jason. We'll see you again tomorrow. Get some sleep, just like the kids, right?
Absolutely. Lots of fluids and go to bed.
Except I don't do carbs that well anymore, so I don't exercise enough to burn them up.
It's getting a little too late in the evening for that. For us, anyways.
For us, for sure. They can go have a spaghetti dinner if they want. We got to wrap it up here. But Super Joe back at the station. Jason Merritt, I'm Sheldon Willis. 2-1 Grand Rapids in overtime. And you've been listening to it on J105 The Thunder, J105radio.com. Okay, I didn't listen to what Jason did. Do you have enough for a wrap, or do you need another one? I can do it off there.
You got it off there?
Yeah. Or there's not. Yeah, with the turnaround tomorrow, we'll do a combined wrap for Monday sports after the game tomorrow. Someone will, anyways. Perfect. Talk to you then, Super Joe. Oh, yeah, I don't think any of us picked Job Carpenter.